Welcome back, guys. So, I'm now standing in my completed basement. We got all the block laid up. The mason come over a little while ago, and him and his son, they brought the skid loader and they set that lintel above that door and finished filling in those last few blocks. And now the basement the walls are complete. So now I have the task of going in here, and I got to dig these footers. I've got them marked out there in the gravel. There's 3 there. There's another one that goes in under this pallet right here. I got to move those blocks in that pallet. And there's another one that goes there. And then back here on this little bump out, there's a beam that goes across from this corner over to that wall. And then right there's another footer. So there's a pole that breaks the span of that beam. And that's what these footers are for. They're for basement post. Because there's a beam that goes from almost that corner. It don't come quite out to the corner. All the way over to that wall. And then there's posts that support that beam. So we're getting ready for framing. I still got a good bit of work to do. Right over here's, I started digging trying to find my pipe. I had buried a piece of 6-inch PVC in under the footer. So there's the former drain for the footers. And there's a piece of 6-inch PVC pipe down there and under that footer somewhere. I just got to keep digging to find it. And the reason it's 6-inch is I'm using that for a sleeve. I just put it in there just the width of the footer, tape the ends of it up shut, and then fill gravel in on top of it, and then we poured the footer over top of it. So I could come in later and dig it back out and then run a piece of 4-inch drain pipe through it. So it's basically a conduit for the drain. We have gotten our gravel in here already, as you can see, and it goes roughly, we've got it 4 inches up the wall there from the top of the footer all the way around. So we need to get the laser in here and shoot it all the way across so it's pretty consistent. That's my idea anyway. Try to get it as close as we can, just so there's not, I don't want to get out here in the middle and have 8 inches of gravel and 1 inch of concrete. So we need to get it pretty consistent so we can get a consistent concrete pad in here. Now with that being said, the ground and under that gravel there wasn't very level. I mean, it's got little peaks and valleys to it, and so there's going to be some spots we may only have 1 inch of gravel, and then there's going to be some spots we may have 6 inches of gravel, just because of where we've been in here working and just kind of marring it up a little bit. But this is 2 weeks worth of work right here. Them guys fly. It's 2 guys. One guy mixes mud and carries block, and the other one lays them. And we've been blessed with good weather. We've only had, I think, 1 day. That was a Friday, a week from yesterday. We had some freezing rain come through, and it kind of slowed us down. We ended up having to cut out about 2:30 that day because the weather had gotten so bad. But other than that, and then we've had a couple Mondays where it was raining. The past 2 Mondays it was raining, so we couldn't really do anything. Everything was soaking wet. But other than that, this is it's probably about 8, maybe 9 full days of work right here. And it's amazing to see them guys work that fast. And you watch them and it don't seem like they're working that fast. They're just kind of methodical about it. But back to my drain pipe. So the reason I didn't go ahead and plumb that out before we poured footers is because, walk out here and I'll show you. I've got a lot of work to do in here. I gotta take all this scaffolding down. But if you walk out here on the other side of the wall, so right where that pallet's sitting, that's about where it comes out from and under the house. Well, as you can see, we've been using this for a road to get in and out of the basement, to move materials in and out. We've had concrete trucks and everything coming through here on this road, dump trucks. So our idea was we didn't want to run that drain. It would have to cross and under this road. It would have to come from there, go straight down through here, and right there where that pipe's sticking up is the septic tank. So that's where it would have to run to. So we didn't want to have to put that pipe in the ground here and risk it getting crushed by heavy equipment and trucks and stuff. So we waited before we put that in. So the task right now is going to be for me to dig down and find that pipe. We'll see where it's at. It's right in there somewhere. I may be digging too far one direction or something, I don't know. But it was right against the bottom of those footer forms whenever we set it in there and covered it with gravel. So it's not but about 8 inches under the ground. So, and it was just gravel on top of it, so it shouldn't be hard to dig out. And then, so we moved all of our, this is all of our 8-inch block for the garage. We still got to lay it up, but the basement itself is done. So here's our footers for the garage. Goes around that way and then step up and tie into the house. So we're going to get those. He's going to work on those Monday and Tuesday. He said he's going to try to have those done Tuesday. The waterproofers are coming Tuesday to waterproof this foundation around the house. They're going to use an emulsified rubber spray-on product, and they spray it on about an eighth of an inch thick, and then they stick a piece of fiberglass Owens Corning board to the outside of that, and that helps wick the water down to the former drain. So that hopefully keeps us dry, keeps the basement dry. That's one of the things about having a basement, is you're constantly fighting that moisture battle. So yeah, I'm gonna go in here and I'm gonna grab a shovel, and I think I'm gonna start trying to find that pipe. Alright, so there's the pipe. After I dug all the gravel out of the way, there's some tape over there, and I'm just going to leave that there for now. But that's for my drain to go out. So I've got some digging to do here. I'm going to have to dig this out here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn it up right there. Once it comes out, it's going to come out here, and then we're going to turn up, and I'm going to put a clean out right there for the sewer clean out, the main clean out for the house. And then I'm going to come off of that. I'm going to tee off the bottom of it there, and we're going to come straight out to here, about here. Then we're going to turn and go against the wall right there and come up with a toilet flange about, well, I mean, if you're coming straight off the wall, it's 12 inches to the center of it, but we're going to set it out a little bit in case I ever decide to put any kind of finish on that wall. It'll give me some room behind the toilet. So I'm going to set it out probably about 16 inches or so from the wall. And then I'll also come over and connect in a vanity right here. And then I'll run the vent up for the vanity and come over and tie it into the main house vent system. So we'll have a little half bath right in this corner. It's not something I'm going to hook up just yet. It's just I'm going to go ahead and get it in before we pour the concrete, obviously, so we don't have to dig up the concrete to do it later. But this is where our main sewer clean out will go. It'll go come up the wall here and then go out. There'll be a bathroom on that end, and then the rest of the plumbing fixtures and everything will be over here on this end. The kitchen is right about here, and then we've got laundry room, master bath, and then another half bath over here. So all the plumbing really is on one end except for that one bathroom on that end. So once I get that plumbed up, get that done, get these footers dug, get them set up, then we're going to call the floor guys in to pour this floor. We're basically just going to let the concrete for the floor run over into the footers, put some rebar in there, and then it'll all just be one monolithic piece, the footer and the floor together, and then we'll just set the post right on top of the floor right where they go for the beam. So that's the idea on it. Anyway, we'll see how it works out. This stuff here is hard to dig, so it's really labor intensive because it's really hard. Well, if you watched any of my other videos, you've seen that we were fighting a battle with shale. It's just, the shale in here is crazy. It's so tightly packed, and it's just hard to dig. But yeah, I got a little bit of gravel to fill in right here in this little bump out, and then right along here, and then the basement will be pretty much filled with gravel. Right here's our doorway going out for a walk out of the basement. Now we'll put a piece of 2x8 on the outside of that wall right there, and we'll let the floor just kind of run up against that 2x8, screed it off flush with the top of it. So the floor will actually be 8 inches up to the top of that first course of block right there. So that's where the top of the floor will be. So that leaves me an 80-inch tall by 6-foot opening there for my door, for my walkout door. We actually blocked that up 6 foot 3 inches, so we could put a piece of pressure treated on each side of it, and give it something to screw the door in good too. I think it'll be easier to get the door in there that way. And but the 8 foot is right to that lintel, so it may be still a little bit tight yet getting that door in. I'll have to look at the dimensions on the door and see what we got. But that's about all I got for today. I would like to get the drone up and do an aerial shot of this, but the wind up here has been crazy lately, and that thing, it just does not fly well when there's much wind. It likes to push it around a lot. It's kind of almost uncontrollable. So I'll see if I can get it up and get some aerial shots and attach those to this video. But until then, y'all keep checking back.